Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting Dragon Ball discussion. Yo, if you are new to the nickabenson channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button as we're trying to hit over 470 subscribers. And if you're already subscribed, please share this video so that we can add more people to the nickabenson nation. If you like this video, make sure to like this video as we're trying to get this video up to at least 5 likes, as that is our normal like goal. Yo, if you are new to the nickabenson nation, feel free to check out some of our other videos, whether you're into Dragon Ball, WWE, Yu-Gi-Oh, Skullgirl, Soccer Spirits. If it's due with like gaming or college lifestyle or Dragon Ball, then it's probably here. And even if it's just something cool to talk about, it's probably here. So yeah, make sure to check out the nickabenson nation, aka the nickabenson channel, if you have not yet done so, and let's get on with the rest of this video. Vuon. He is the Pride Trooper who was the first to be knocked out of the Universal Survival arc. He was facing off against Kale when she knocks him out of the arena after he uses his Justice Whip, and many people are very disappointed by the Pride Troopers as of episode 101 of Dragon Ball Super. It seems like a lot of them were fodderized, where we felt like the Pride Troopers of Universe 11 would stick in it until the very end. But I have the argument that maybe many of the Pride Troopers are actually really powerful, but they just weren't used to their fullest in this tournament, and this is why I've done a video that is a respect video for Tupper, and now it is time for the respect video for Vuon. So Vuon only really demonstrated one of his special techniques. We don't know how many others he might have had, and this technique that he demonstrated was the Justice Whip. Here's an image of him getting the Justice Whip ready as Kale comes by. And here's him blasting it off. Now, if the Justice Whip works as advertised, it's a very powerful technique, as his Justice Whip renders evil criminals powerless. Now, the only problem that Vuon really had in using this ability is that he used it on Kale, and Kale is not evil, so it didn't matter. You know, like, if my move only works on a certain category of, like, villain or character, and then it turns out that, hey, you know, they don't fit in this category, then it kind of ruins your plan. Now, to be honest, I think Vuon was a very powerful member of the Pride Troopers if used correctly, and I feel like he's definitely team-based, though it's not like he isn't very strong. You can see his muscular build, and I feel like he could have given a lot of fighters a run for their money. For example, Frieza is evil. Frieza is like a straight up evil being, probably one of the most evil characters we've seen in Dragon Ball, maybe only rivaling like Kid Buu, you know, when it comes to like truly evil figures. So with that being said, if Vuon had ensnared Frieza rather than Kale with his Justice Whip, and his Justice Whip truly rendered evil criminals powerless, Vuon could have made Frieza like into nothing. Essentially, like, you wrap him in the Justice Whip and Frieza would have had no power, and then Vuon or one of the other Pride Troopers could have just started wailing on him while he was stuck inside of the Justice Whip, and that just would have been it. So I feel like if Vuon had some way of sensing whether or not his opponents were evil, then he could have done something. For example, we noticed that Vuon, for a while, was hiding stealthily. He was waiting for a chance to use his Justice Whip on one of the adversaries. And I feel like he shouldn't have used it on Kale. I feel like if he had looked around more around the Tournament of Power Stadium, he would have noticed Frieza, who's just around the stadium just torturing like opponents. Rather than just like beating up on an opponent and trying to knock them out of the stadium, he could have seen him like tirelessly like torturing individuals, and after seeing that Frieza was evil, he could have used his Justice Whip on Frieza and made Frieza powerless. We also had the fighters that were torturing Kale in order to get Kale to become a Berserker. They seemed to be like mindlessly just beating on Kale just for the fun of it, and that felt really evil as well. So I feel like if Vuon had looked at these people who are like doing these evil things in the Tournament of Power and used his Justice Whip on them, he could have made them powerless fodder and knocked them out of the tournament. In other words, Vuon is a very, very powerful member of the Pride Troopers, but only when facing off against evil opponents. And I feel like if their view of the Tournament of Power was correct, Vuon would have been a really good member to have. I say this because Topo feels that Universe 7 and Goku especially is evil because without Goku, there wouldn't have been the Universal Survival arc, and they feel that this tournament is why the universes are being erased, even though it's due to the mortal level thing, and Xeno would have just erased the universes anyways. So Goku's actually giving them a chance with the tournament. But because they view Goku as being evil, they probably picked Vuon because they felt like, ooh, you know, there are all these evil people in the tournament that we need to take out. And Vuon probably thought that he could more like generally use his ability. Also, when you look at Kale's like rough berserker form, right? Kale looks more like a beast, like a monstrous character. So Vuon, against his better judgment, probably looked at Kale and her destructive force and assumed that she was evil. I mean, to be honest, she's based on Broly, and Broly is a villain character. So yeah, I mean, she looks evil in her berserker form. We see where Vuon was going. It's just your Justice Whip only affects evil people, and without the ability to sense if someone's evil, it makes you not as good. Now, Vuon is probably really good as a Pride Trooper in general, though, right? You know, he fights evil criminals. So whenever you call Vuon to stop an evil criminal, you know, he just does his Justice Whip, the evil criminal loses all their power, and then he just beats the shit out of them. You know, like Vuon in the field is very powerful, and I'm sure like an asset to the Pride Troopers. Now, there's one move that Vuon could have learned that I feel like would have really made him like just the shit in the Tournament of Power, and it would have been epic to see this, is if he knew manipulation sorcery. Now, right now, what we're looking at is the Dai Senchu, which is one of the official guidebooks of Dragon Ball, and we're going to just look at this one entry here, manipulation sorcery, which is a move that was used by Babidi back in Dragon Ball Z. This penetrates into the heart crevices of those with evil hearts, putting them under Babidi's control, or in this case, if Vuon had the ability, Vuon's control, and at the same time, drawing that person's hidden power out beyond their limits. Yo. So if Vuon had that ability, oh snap, yo, it would have been game, and they could have actually done this in a really cool way in the show. So if Vuon knew manipulation sorcery, what he would do is he would use his Justice Whip on Frieza, right? Capturing Frieza in the Justice Whip. Then he uses manipulation sorcery on Frieza, and then Frieza becomes under Vuon's control, allowing Vuon to control one of the more powerful members of the Universe 7 team. Now that Frieza is under Vuon's control, Frieza could have battled off against Goku and the other Universe 7 members, and it would have allowed for Frieza to betray Universe 7, but it'd be like, oh no, I wasn't in my right mind kind of thing. And then they could have even done a flip reveal on us where Frieza, you know, as they're fighting, Frieza starts like grinning and Goku goes, you were never really under his control, because something similar happened with Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z. Vegeta let himself go under Babidi's control so that he could fight Goku. And I feel like since Frieza by this time is way more powerful than Super Vegeta was back in Dragon Ball Z, that Frieza also could probably resist manipulation sorcery, but then use it as a oh no excuse to be able to like fight against the other Universe 7 fighters. So I think that would have been really cool if Vuon had that ability. I feel like it complements his whip and it makes him capable of doing more. Also, they could have done a really hard twist with that as well. If Vuon was knocked out of the tournament and then suddenly one of the Pride Troopers like snapped out of some kind of control they were under and started facing off against the other people. I say that because Casserole, who's another member of the Pride Troopers, they mentioned that he's conquered many planets. And when I heard that, it made me think that Casserole might have like a dark past or might not be as good as he seems. Conquer doesn't sound like a real superhero word you would use, you know, for someone who's supposed to be a protector who conquers, like who conquers planets, but is also like a superhero kind of thing. You know, that doesn't sound right. So it would have been interesting if Vuon actually was controlling some of the Pride Troopers to make them good. You know, like that would have been like a really interesting twist. And then it would be like, wow, you know, there's like a lot more depth to what's going on with the Pride Trooper story. It would have made Vuon a more important character. It would have made us more hype to see like, well, now that Casserole is like actually showing his true colors, will he still fight for the Pride Troopers? Or will he just be fighting for chaos? You know, like they could have done potentially a lot with the story if they had made Vuon have manipulation sorcery to go along with the Justice Whip. But no, we kind of see Vuon face the wrong opponent and just get knocked out. I would have liked at least if Vuon had caught a character who they had demonstrated as evil in his Justice Whip, seen how his Justice Whip made them powerless, and at least gotten to take out one person before he was taken out by Kale. I feel like that would have at least shown us what Vuon was capable of. But anyways, what do you guys think about Vuon? I personally think that he could have done way more in the Tournament of Power, and that he is one of the Pride Troopers' more powerful allies, but specifically against evil threats. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please tell me what you thought in the comment section below. If you like this video, make sure to like this video. And if you're already subscribed, make sure to share this video with a friend so they can join the nickabenson Nation. Thank you once again for watching, and have a wonderful night. This is your boy, Jet Black, logging out. Peace.